Well, welcome back to another video here in Pennsylvania. It is Saturday, I think it's afternoon now, but February 3rd, so day after Groundhog Day. Yesterday I was out with Dave and Bob looking for that cool cemetery. Finally found it out there in Michaux State Forest. But today it's one of these days where I didn't really have a plan. I mean, I don't ever have to go out hiking any given day. Like on a Saturday, I could just stay home. I did sleep in a little bit this morning, but I thought about just staying home and taking care of some other things that I need to do as well. But it is such a nice day for, an early February day. I got some siren going off in the distance there. Probably up in Pine Grove, but yeah, it's just so beautiful, sunny, kind of warm today. So it's like, gotta get out. So where am I? Well, I'm in my home county, Berks. Kind of on the edge of Berks and Schuylkill counties. Some of the traffic you're hearing is from Route 501, and this is a section of the Appalachian Trail. So I parked at the Route 501 parking lot, and I'm headed north towards a lookout here along the Appalachian Trail, on your way to what's called 500 Steps. But I'll toss a screenshot up of where I'm headed. It's kind of, this lookout is kind of right between the parking lot on 501 and Shower Steps, or 500 Steps it's called. Often we've been up there a number of times, so I'll throw a screenshot up. That's where I'm headed. But I'll toss a screenshot up of where I'm headed. It's kind of, this lookout is kind of right between the parking lot on 501 and Shower Steps, or 500 Steps it's called. Often we've been up there a number of times, so I'll throw a screenshot up. That's where I'm headed. And I brought some hot chocolate and coffee mix along, because it's not going to be terribly chilly today, maybe about 45 degrees, which is nice for early February, but it's still chilly enough that when you're sitting down in overlook, you'll cool off a little bit, and nice to have some hot chocolate and coffee. So let's just go for a little hike. And as you can see, all the snow is gone. We got maybe about, I don't know, I forget when that was, a week or so ago. Got some hiking videos with the snow, but it's all gone now. Not sure if we'll get a whole lot more this winter or not. February looks to be pretty above average temps, which isn't good for snow, but it's good for getting out hiking, exploring. So got a junction here. You can head down to a spring down that way. I think that's the spring they call Pilgaroo, or Pilgrim's Rest. We did a video on that some time ago. Cool little spot. I think there's, what's up? I forget what's up this way. I think there's a camping area up here for thru hikers. Oh, I see a register box. Let's just quick take a look. Not gonna be anyone out here today though. Yeah, they have one of these boxes. I guess you can register yourself that you was here. I don't need to do that though. Alright, we'll head back to trail. Yeah, there's no need for me to register. It's more for the thru hikers, which the thru hiker season for the Appalachian Trail has started. There are those who do start as early as January to hike the Appalachian Trail. All of it. They do so to avoid what they call the bubble, when like everyone, I think it's around March is when the majority of people start. So it's a huge bubble of people on the trail. It can get kind of crowded, so some people try to start earlier. Of course, if you start in Georgia, where it starts, some people do a northbound. A few people do what's called a southbound. They start in Maine, but anyway, a little bit warmer down there. So starting in January, February isn't as bad as it seems. Yes, I mentioned today's February 3rd, but just in a couple of weeks, in about 3 weeks, we'll start looking for our first signs of spring. That's when we go down to Middle Creek and see the snow geese and tundra swans. Usually around the third week of April. I mean, not April, February. And then, about a month from now, the first week of March, we can start to look for the wood frogs. They'll start mating, and I know I made a couple of videos of that. I look forward to seeing that or hearing them. It's always the sounds of spring. And then come mid-March, mid to late March, we start seeing our first early spring flowers. So some things to look forward to. Now we've left the sound of the traffic from the highway behind. It's just us in the woods now. Pretty quiet out here. Not a single other soul out here on the trail today, at least this part of it. There were people in the parking lot and a number of cars, but I think a lot of people are going to the lookout on the south side of the highway there. That's pretty popular. The one that gets, vandalized all the time. No one going this way. So we probably will have this overlook to ourselves. It's not the most popular one, just because it's not one of the more easier ones to get to. Time-wise, at least. Well, we have a creature spotting. We also have a plane flying overhead, but let's see if we can zoom in on it with the camera. If he's still there or not. It's difficult to tell sometimes on the little screen on here. Where are you a little bit? Oh, right there he is, behind the... I think you can see him there. Mr. Chipmunk. That's as far as I can zoom in. Hey, little buddy. Not sure if he's in focus or not, but there he is. He'll probably run off as we get closer. Or is he going to pose there for a little bit? I like poses a little bit more. He's not getting... Let's focus in on him again. I can find him. There he is. Oh, that's a good shot right there. Got one twig in front of your face there, buddy. There we go. Well, that was nice of him to pose for us. Yeah, they're usually hibernating this time of year, the chipmunks. But chipmunks are not necessarily deep hibernators, if that makes sense. They will often get up different times during the year, during the winter, to eat some of the stuff they have stored up, or to come out like this on a warmer day, where it's going to be in the 40s. They won't necessarily hibernate. But if a big cold spell comes again, then they'll go back into hibernation. Some animals, like, what's it, woodpecker? I'm starting to hear noises out here. Some animals, like a groundhog, they... Okay, a tree just fell. I don't know if you heard that on camera or not. Interesting. Anyway, yeah, woodchucks hibernate deeply over the winter. Alright, what's going on out here? Yeah, I don't know if the camera picked that up, the sound, but just down there somewhere a tree fell down. Yeah, I got a woodpecker here somewhere too. I'll try and find him. See if I can zoom in on him. Alright, well, couldn't find a woodpecker. He got quiet when I got a little bit closer to see where he was. But anyway, we have to keep our eyes open. Maybe we're not alone out here. Yep, here's a campsite right along the trail. Well, it's been used recently. Fire pit looks a little bit beat up, but you could camp here right along the trail. Alright, so I think coming to this campsite means we're not too far away from the overlook that we're headed to. been a while since I've been back this far on this trail. I think our trail will soon kind of curve back up towards the peak of the mountain where our overlook will be. If I remember correctly. And look at this. If I show you this, some of you will know what was here not too long ago. There's nothing attached to it anymore, but it's one of these, it's got the little wire with the paper clip on it. One of those dumb little notes was hanging here at one point. So, someone must have found it. Anyway, they're out here too. Yeah, just recently I was watching someone's video, I forget who it was offhand, and they found one of those notes too. I forget where they were too though, but they're everywhere, at least in this part of PA. They're starting to get a little bit more attention because the authorities are getting a little bit more involved, I think, with whoever's doing it. And anyway. Alright, so I was correct. Just behind me a little ways, the trail did turn to the right. And up there's the peak again. Well, not really the peak, but the ridge top, I guess you could call it. But I don't think... There's some smaller views along here, but I think our main view we're headed to is, you know, a little bit more is that way along the ridge line. But that's where we're headed. Some rocky sections up here too. Look at a dog barking back there. Oh, not anymore. All right. Yeah, I can see a little bit of a view. Right there is Round Top. That's where 500 Steps comes up to up there. That little knob. Yeah. And down that valley too is where I grew up. I'll have to mention that other times when I'm up this way. That's where the farm was. And once again, there's Round Top. So we are close to where we want to be. Yeah, if you want to get to this overlook, you could also come up. You could, park. 501 goes down the mountain down there somewhere. You can hike up the 500 steps and come follow up. The Appalachian Trail follows the ridge line all the way over to where we're going to. Yeah, here's a little mini overlook, but I don't think this is the one we want. Kind of a cool view out there, though. Maybe I'll set you down and have a walk down there. I don't know if I can stand all the way up on this piece. There we go, there's our majestic pose. I don't think this is the overlook we're looking for. I think we gotta go a little bit more that way yet. We'll take a guess as to what I found down here when I was posing on this rock for you. There was a little rock on top here. I kicked it off, and it's one of those dumb little notes is down here. So, man. This is getting kind of old. I did just pass, some folks just passed me going back that way, so, but anyway, maybe they're the ones planting them, but they didn't look like that kind of folk. Anyway, I'm not gonna leave this here. I think this up here might be what we're looking for. At least one of them. I think there's actually, we'll see. I think we gotta go through one of these boulder fields, and then past that is the lookout that's on the map. But this is pretty awesome too. Still got some views. But I think we're gonna keep going through the, I think just past this little boulder field and up a little bit more is what we're looking for. If you're wondering what those notes are, I did a whole video on them once where I talked about what I thought of them and stuff, and I found them in other times out here. I think it's my fourth actual note, but we did find where a fifth one was, but it's getting ridiculous. There's like these conspiracy theory stuff. But anyway, the reason authorities are getting more concerned is because whoever's putting them, whoever, there's probably multiple people maybe, they work at, some of these people work at like food factories, and people are opening up their sealed food items and finding these notes inside. So it's kind of, yeah, it's just kind of disturbing. Anyway, but I'm kind of caught between not wanting to talk about them or share them because I think I don't want to draw too much attention to them, but at the same time, I think it is necessary to point out that they are out here. I think the more people that know what's going on, maybe the sooner they can figure out who's doing this and put a stop to it, because it is just kind of, it's just kind of dumb. So that's why I'll probably keep showing them. Not necessarily read them to you, but letting you know they're out here. Bring awareness to it in that way. All right, trail goes this way. Gotta pay attention to where I'm going. Oh, I see why. Didn't see it's all. I gotta do some trail maintenance. So we have arrived at our destination. Just checked Google Maps. I have a signal up here, and my blue dot is right at the overlook, so we are here. Yeah, check this out. So we're gonna find a spot to sit, enjoy the view. Some hot chocolate too. Pretty cool up here. I guess you can see me on, yeah, I'm just making sure I'm in frame there, but yeah. A wobbly one too. Let's see what we got for snacks too. We got the beef jerky, having that. Raisins, some other bags of stuff, some cashews, and a little trail mix there. So I'm not sure how much this will eat, but I'm definitely eating the beef jerky. So, all right, while we enjoy some views. Yeah, so like I said, I grew up down there. Let me try and zoom in on the spot. There's a patch of pine trees. Well, actually, they're spruce trees, but same idea. Right there in the middle of the screen. Those trees, I can't really make out any buildings because of the trees in front, but that's where I grew up. Yeah, I don't really see any. Those trees are pretty tall, but there's a barn and a house down there. But you know, when I talk about my love of hiking through the piney forest and hearing the wind in the pines, because my bedroom window faced out towards those spruce trees, and I could always hear the wind through them. So that's where I get my love of the pine forest, I believe, from. Yeah, and concerning our French and Indian War series, Fort Henry is just down right there too. Of course, we did a video on that, but this is that hollow that runs up through here. Of course, this mountain kind of curves around and comes back this way, but there's kind of like a hollow that goes up through. That's the route that the Indians took in their attacks down to the settlers down here. So who knows, maybe, an Indian could have been up here at one point, looking out. Or even some militiamen from the fort, they could come up here and just watch, if there was smoke rising up from people's houses and stuff, that an attack was occurring. So this, we're kind of on that frontier. Remember, the Blue Mountain here was the frontier. This was where the settlers were, and behind me was Indian country. But anyway, enough reminiscing about home and history and things like that. Had a nice time sitting here with my coffee, hot chocolate mix, some snacks. But I think it's time to head back. It's beautiful up here today. Just this is one of those days where, like I said, I was contemplating just staying at home, getting some other things done, and relaxing. And I'm glad I came out here. It's just beautiful out here. That sun is just, it's just warmth right here on all these rocks. It's a little over 2 miles to get here, I think, so not too bad of a hike. All right, let's start making our way back. Yeah, going back from the other direction now. I believe there was another note here too. It's gone though, I think. I'll take this off though. Don't leave this in the tree. But yeah, I think that's where another one was. Yeah. Yeah, but you can see how it's getting to the point where it's just litter on the trail, basically. I mean, some people, it looks like, I mean, 2 of the notes were taken, but the people left. Not blaming those people that left the, other stuff behind, but they're not the ones putting it out here to begin with. Anyway, so that's 3 just on this one, like 2-mile section of a hike. So I feel like they're getting a bit careless. You start putting that many out, you're gonna get caught all the quicker. All right, I'll let go of that subject. Lots of rocks. So getting some views off this side though. There are some ravens. Oh, now they're quiet. Okay, buddies. They hang out at that old radio tower there. All right, now they're quiet. Yeah, I can start to hear highway traffic again, so we're closing in on the parking lot. But I think that'll be it for me then, folks. We're getting near the end. Now, still some time today to get some things done. Whoops, I tripped on rocks. It's time to get some things done that I was thinking about getting done instead of hiking. This section is really rocky. I'm trying to look at the camera, but probably should be looking at where I'm walking. Anyway, thanks for coming along, folks. Hopefully we'll see you on the next one, wherever that may be. Well, maybe this video isn't over yet. Look at this. What's this? This isn't over. There's notes. This looks like a bear. Yeah, it's the same thing. Ay, 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 folks. All right.